Friday, so that means we've got another round of Godforge leaks. I've got some other information to go with this to counter things that we might see here. I did see these all as I was downloading them. Oh, and Banjo has joined the video. Hello, Banjo. Banjo got a new shirt today. It's a jack-o'-lantern. It's a muscle shirt. Now. I got to get him a little monster can. Anyway. Okay. I'm just going to hold him. I'm going to hold him for the rest of the video. He's going to be with us while we... Some wraparound shades. Oh, like the ones that press like real into their head. Like Oakley's. Anyway. Anyway. If you don't know, we record these videos live. So if you want to join the fun and join the chat about what's going on in Godforge and what's going on in the stream, come check it out. Anyway, so this one actually is a bit juicy. So last week we had talked about the Seiya faction for Godforge. They had revealed a bunch of different buildings and concept art for that. This one's equally juicy, but is character focused. This is for a new rare character. So far we've only seen epics and legendaries for the most part. We saw like mummy and like a dog or something for like common characters, for like enemies. But this seems to be like a rare character you'll get, you know, maybe like campaign farming or something like that. But this is focused on the satyr. So the Minotaur, I think, was either a previously revealed or something like that in a video that Simon made. But the satyr is the focus of today, and those are on the left. And they're comparing it to the Minotaur, which also exists. So here we've got some concept art where they're pulling references from other stuff that they have in the game to sort of clue their 3D modelers in on, you know, things they want to use, art styles they want to use from other assets in the game to sort of keep everything, you know, tied together. I don't know which way this goes. This way. Okay, so I don't know if I have this set up correctly, but it was sort of almost like a day one until it's finished reveal of their process through creating and 3D modeling a character, which I thought was pretty cool. And you know, you kind of don't think about it like when you play a game like Raid or Dragonair or Watcher of Realms or something like that, where there's like a ton of kind of throwaway characters, right? Characters that you sacrifice to level up or whatever. But when there's like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of these characters, you kind of forget that like each one, you know, it takes time to go through. Even if it's sort of like the Minotaur, but changed slightly, they still need to change it so where it looks different. It's not just a recolor and that kind of thing. It looks pretty gruesome. And this looks like, this, I don't know, it doesn't look very high poly. Block out and HP. No armor. Okay, he's got some armor now. This is still day 3. Still day 3. So from what I understand, he's part of the Asgard faction. I think in this it'll say that he's part of a different faction, but the satyr, I believe, is part of the Asgard. Which I guess makes sense. I don't know too much about Norse mythology, actually. Yeah, it's not Avalon, from what I understand. Okay, here's low poly. This might be after high poly's done. So in order to map textures and get a model ready for gameplay, especially on mobile, you do have to lower the poly count from the initial model, but do it in such a way where you keep the main structures and make sure it doesn't look like junk, right? I don't know how many polygons this is, but I'm sure they have a target number per character. I'd be interested to know maybe maybe like 750 or something. I also thought it was going to be Greek, but maybe the Minotaur is part of Greek, so they don't want like too many of the same. Like I don't know too much about Norse mythology, so I don't know where a satyr might come up. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's going on. Oh, we've got 8,000 faces. Whoa. This might be... Oh, so we've got his actual skin. The armor. I don't know what the right one is. That big circle. It's largely... that's what I thought. I thought satyrs were mainly Greek, but... Maybe the 8,000 faces is everything together, because I'm not going to lie. This doesn't... The left model doesn't seem like 8,000. I guess I'm not counting the back. And the back is going to be, you know, double the front. Oh, this is the low poly after. This looks pretty good. This is a rendered. Is this rendered? This might be rendered. Looks pretty good. I like the shadows that they've had. It must be rendered. It looks pretty brutal. Like this guy's got... I mean, he's got no weapon right now, but he's going to have like an axe or something. Oh my god. He just looks kind of scary. For like a rare character too.
Just gonna hold him all night?
Yeah, I'm holding him for the video. Yeah. I'm like recording a video. Anyway. This is... So what day was that? That was day 11. So maybe they come back to it. Ooh, and they've added all the textures, including colors. I think that the logo is supposed to be Avalon. I could be totally wrong. I'm still not too familiar with the factions. From what I understand, there's a wiki that might be in the works, or at least it's been talked about. So I definitely need that so I can study the factions. I think there's 7 that have been like officially revealed. There was some talk in the Discord earlier about if Native Americans, North or South, would make it to launch, but I don't know. I like that they've sort of made his horns like he's scratching up against stuff. Like they look cracked. It looks like there's like a little bit of moss or something. There's some blood going on. Ugh. It looks like a Halloween mask you might find at Spirit Halloween. In a good way. I don't know. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but it looks spooky. Looks like he's gonna fuck you up. And he gets an axe, right? I think that's what the first slide was. The intended weapon. Seems kind of cool. And I do like that even when they lower the polygon count, even with the textures and with colors and things, you know, baked into the textures, you can still get a sense of like, oh, hey, there's some fur going on here. There's some veins that you can see, some muscle. Like, I think it looks really good. This might be the last one. Yeah. Engine okay, so this is in game. Yeah. Oh, he is in the right one, right? This is the Asgard. Oh, maybe. Hang on. Let me see if I can get a real answer to this right now. Satyr, the hero is shown on Asgard because they test on that for the game, but he's Olympus. There we go. I was wrong the entire time. I had thought of it the other way around. Going to be Olympus. That makes infinitely more sense. Yeah, so it's interesting to think about. Non is talking about like a character being played on a mobile game where people want to zoom out. Like, how much time should you be spending on creating a character like that's this detailed, that's a rare character that people might just throw away, and maybe the obvious comparison is something like Gnarlhorn from Raid. I forget what the other ones are called. There's a couple like satyr looking characters that are rares. I think that the overall stance of the camera from Godforge and from the Fateless team, their stance of like not really wanting to change the camera angle kind of helps a little bit. Like, even if it's a rare character, even if it's a character that not everybody might use, you are going to be a little bit closer to the action. And I've said it before. Like, if they want to go with this character or camera angle that's like way closer up, sort of over the shoulder in some aspects, go all in. Don't add a camera swap so it's isometric or anything like that. Like, you're putting all the time and effort into making these characters look really good. Make sure we can see it, kind of deal. And I like that there's not much like hidden. In one of the recent videos, they had talked with somebody on the art team that does 3D modeling, and they had talked about like, oh, my character has a cape on, so maybe I don't even need to make most of the back because the cape hides that. And they were having a talk about that, and like if you should or if you shouldn't. And it looks like through and through the whole model's there, which kind of also leads into interesting options for the future for customization. If you've got characters that are pretty much fully fleshed out, that you can sort of just swap some of the armor. Not only does that open avenues for like sort of lazy character duping, you could have Satyr, and then you could have Mater or whatever, and they're just like palette swapped into a different faction or whatever, or one's rare and one's uncommon or something like that. Obviously, that's a common thing, but one that I don't hope for in Godforge. But at least with like legendary characters or characters that might get skins, or different armor pieces. Like, if you have the same really high quality base model, you can just take the armor off, put in new armor, give them a different weapon, give them a helmet, whatever, and sell it as a skin or whatever. Overall, I think this one's pretty juicy. We got a lot more information through this than we did even a couple weeks ago with Beowulf. And I hope that this keeps up, because I do like the glimpse that we're seeing into, even though it's like one character at a time or one faction at a time, we do get some hints sort of to at least where they're going with the game. And it's exciting. And I think, what is it? It's meant to be like early next year is when the first like alpha test is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be public or private test, or if content creators can make things about it. But I'm excited for it, even if I don't get in, just to see what the game's like and get some hands on. So with that, that's going to do it for this week. I don't think I have any more rants to do about Godforged. The most recent video and podcast were kind of about art and stuff like that, so it's not really things that I feel that I need to voice opinions on. So the next video will probably be next week, next Friday. This will probably go live Saturday. That's typically the schedule I've been doing, Saturday or Sunday, because I do this live. But anyway, I'm ranting. Have a good night. Say goodbye, Banjo. I like Banjo's shirt. It's a little pumpkin. Say bye. Oh, fucking idiot.